Do you want to know how to get a business car loan with EIN only? I'm going to show you in today's conversation how to buy a personal car under company name. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous if you're to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I have great news for you. We have a fantastic show for you. And here are all the things we'll cover today. I want you to look right now on the screen. So here is the skeleton of today's show. Number one, what you need to do step by step. We are going to help you get all your stuff together in terms of application package, explain why your business needs a car, how to write a compelling business plan, create a sources of uses of fund statements, knowing the benefits of titling a car under a company name, consider leasing versus buying, plan the car purchase properly, compare car financing options, choose the best lender for you, and submit the car loan application, how to do it properly. So if you stick around till the end, I'm going to help you save thousands of dollars on your next business car loan application. And the second thing I want you to see right now, pay attention to this sample statement from Ally Bank. This is how a business car loan application looks like. Here is the form. Look at the first form here and the second form. More on that later. Now let's first try to explain a little bit what we're talking about here. What is a business auto loan? This is it's sometimes called a commercial auto loan, and this is really a specific form of equipment financing that allows you to access low-cost capital to purchase cars or trucks. Okay, and so this is a self-collateralizing setup. In other words, the car you're buying, the truck you're buying, whatever you're buying, that serves as collateral, the collateral assets for the business car loan. So that means what? If you don't make a payment, you are calling Mr. Repo Man. You call him the repo guy, because they will come and seize your car overnight, while you're sleeping. So it works similarly to a personal car loan. And one thing I want to say here is you want to also pay attention to, I'm showing you right now, here is an example of a business car loan from Bank of America. See the terms? The terms are really interesting, especially in terms of the rates, the duration. That's fantastic. If you have bad credit, you can get a car loan, a business car loan. No problem about it. And you can get a business car loan without signing a personal guarantee. Yes. And you can actually even get a business auto loan without making a down payment. There are plenty of opportunities out there. And if you default on your business auto loan, Mr. Repo. Okay, so to apply for a business auto loan, I want you to find your vehicle, evaluate your qualifications, choose a lender, and submit an application. And you need to actually also review the offer and get your funding. I will explain all of this in today's show. Now, before I get into the actual step-by-step, I want to show you what I showed you a few minutes ago, the Ally Bank business car loan application. This is what it looks like. And this is what a typical business car loan application looks like. Please pay attention here, because there are quintessential information bits that you need to master if you want to get your application approved 100% the first time. So you can see here, they want to know about the dealer. So you have to put the dealer name, primary dealer, the phone number, email address, all that kind of great stuff, right? And then you put the information about the applicant. That's you. That's your business. You got to put your tax ID number. That's your EIN, right? That's your employer identification number. Put the company physical address, the city, state, zip code, email address, all that kind of great stuff. Put that. And then you have to put some kind of 12-month delivery forecast. And this is basically, if you are looking for more than one car, Ally Bank and other banks for that matter wants to know your projections. How many vehicles are you going to need, and how much on average would those vehicles cost you? They want to know everything. And that makes sense. They want to know if they can take a big risk on you or a smaller risk. And they also want you to put the expected delivery dates. Fantastic. You need to also indicate whether the business is a sole proprietorship, corporation, partnership, nonprofit, whatever it is. We've got a lot of shows about what a business's legal structure is, but we would advise you to shy away from the sole proprietorship form of business. You want to incorporate. If we're talking about EIN, then automatically we're just forgetting about a solopreneur or a sole proprietorship. So you got to have a business. You can have a single member LLC. You don't have to hire 1,000 people. You can work by yourself, but be a single member LLC. But that's another story. You need to also put information about the officers, the directors, or partners who are in the business. And you have to put some info about the vehicle usage, the insurance information, everything about your company's financial statements. Here we're talking about what? Cash flow statements, right? Income statement, balance sheet, classic information. And if there is a guarantor or co-buyer, you want to put that also. And if you have some bank or fleet financing references, you want to put that. And last but not the least, do not forget to sign. You need to sign, you need to print your name and your title. Very important. All right, that's great. Now let's just get into the actual step-by-step. If you want to get a business car loan with EIN only, here are the 10 steps you need to follow. Very important. I want you to take notes now because it's going to be fantastic. Number one, you need to get your act together. Okay. What do I mean by that? You got to be prepared. You can't just walk into a business car into the office of a business car lender and ask them to hand you $100,000. No, it doesn't work that way. You got to be prepared. First, you need to incorporate. As I said earlier, it doesn't matter. If you are a single person business, you want to become a single member LLC. Don't remain a sole proprietorship. There are a lot of advantages of incorporating, including segregating your personal assets from your financial assets. All right. You need to get an EIN. Very easy to do, folks. Very easy. It's like easy peasy lemon squeezy. You got to go to the EIN, to the IRS websites. And what do you do there? Just type in EIN, IRS. You'll go to a page and you fill in the info. You can do everything online. No need to pay anybody. No need to fax anything. You can fax it if you want to, but it's better to do it online because you get the answer within 5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes, but you get it right away. Okay. You need to have a strong record keeping process because you're going to need it for properly recording business car expenses. So you can do so by hiring an in-house accountant. You can use accounting software like QuickBooks or Wave or Xero. Or you can just outsource the record keeping function to a company or to a local CPA, a certified public accountant. And this is kind of important because if you never want the IRS to audit you, you want to make record keeping a priority in your business. No ifs and buts. Simple as that, folks. And so if you want to learn more, we're showing you right now on the screen, along with the corresponding link, information about if you buying a business car, the IRS's record keeping requirements. If you get some time, you have nothing to do on a Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon, the kids are playing, or you're by yourself, go and read that. And you also want to keep your personal credit blemish free. And of course, we're talking here about business car loan, but your personal credit and your business credit kind of have an interrelation, and you want to keep your personal credit clean. And you can do that by going to annualcreditreport.com to obtain a free copy of your credit report. So if there are issues on that credit report, if there are, let's say, mistakes or inaccuracies, you want to basically fix that ASAP. And while you're doing that, try to always also build your business credit. Step number 2, you need to explain to the lender why your business needs a car. And this is kind of important because this is going to start a conversation with the lender. This will help the lender understand the peculiarities of your business, the sector you're in, the operating needs of companies in similar sector, and that will really help you. That will boost your odds of getting the business loan that you need. And it depends. So the sector needs run the whole gamut. So you have constructions, oil and gas, engineering, landscape, equipment dealers, security, insurance brokers, food and service, pest control, hospice, hospitals, pharmaceutical, education, university, nonprofit, cities and municipalities, city departments, county governments, state governments, sheriff's department. So the whole idea here is to explain how your sector entails, how your sector operations entails the ownership or the leasing of a business car. Okay. And you can also explain to the lender that you need a car, your business needs a car because you have some growth needs. You need to grow your company, you need to scale, or you need the car to visit clients. You need the car to save time. If you want to empower employees, this is kind of important, especially if you are in a capital intensive or time sensitive kind of sector, you will need a business car. And if you are in a state as large as California or Texas, where, distances are not, where places are not so close to each other, you will need a car. Okay. So, and for gig workers, freelancers, and online entrepreneurs, I haven't forgotten you. Okay. A business car may also be needed if it helps you visit clients faster, it helps you deliver goods faster, or if it's a part of the job itself. For example, in the case of Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Grubhub drivers. Okay, so those are things. This is the kind. I'm giving you just a small portion, if you will, of arguments that will help you present a compelling case in favor of your business car loan. And of course, you can use the car for personal reasons also. There is nothing forbidding that. But just remember, at the end of the year, you need to be very careful about the deductions you allocate to the personal use versus the business use. That's the only thing the IRS cares about. If you don't want them to come after you big time, you need to be very clear. And this is why I was talking earlier about having a strong record keeping process in place. Step number 3, folks, I want you to write a compelling business plan. Now, you might be asking me, what does a business plan have to do with a business car loan? Well, it has everything to do with it. If you want to get a business car loan with EIN only, you need to explain again, going back to the conversation I said earlier, what I said earlier about establishing a rapport, having a conversation with the business lender. You want them to understand you further, and they can't just understand you if you tell them why your business needs a car. You need to tell them what your business is about, what's your vision, what's your mission, what kind of, how do you project yourself 3, 5, 10 years from now? What kind of analytical journey are you going through? And those elements are important, and they're better presented in a business plan. And that business plan, folks, has to be compelling, has to be captivating, has to be, I would say, visionary. All right, has to be inspirational. Of course, I'm not asking you to write poems here. I'm not saying you have to write things that actually are aspirational just to be aspirational. No, you got to be rational. You got to be objective, but you want to make the lender believe in your application. How do you do that? By writing a compelling business plan. And a compelling business plan has several options. Not options. I would say sections. So you have an executive summary. You have company description, market analysis, competitive analysis, description of management and organization, the breakdown of your products and services. This is where you kind of tie your products and services to the business needs of a car, of a vehicle, right? You want to talk about your marketing plan, how you actually intend to get your products and services in front of your target customers, your sales strategy, the request for funding, right? This is important because this section focuses on the amount of money that you need to set up your business and how you plan to use the capital that you're raising. And part of that is the funding for the car. I will speak more about that later on when I talk about sources and uses of funds. But yeah, and you also need to talk about financial projections. Okay, this is where you break down the financial goals and expectations that you've set based on market research. This last part is so important because it is where you explain why you need funding to buy, among other things, a business car. I'm covering that in the next section. Let's talk now about number 4. Step number 4, folks. You need to create something called a sources and uses of funds statements. We're showing this to you right now on the screen. You can see what it looks like. And this is just something that tells the lender why you need the money and how you're going to use the money. And you need to be as accurate and complete as you can be when preparing your uses of funds section. Leave no questions unanswered, folks. Lenders do not like surprises. And so you want to really delve a little deeper into how much it really costs to own your car, your business car. You'll be amazed once you start thinking about it. It's amazing what kind of costs are involved in running a business car. And we're showing you right now, according to AAA, and we're showing this to you right now, a snapshot on the screen. According to AAA, there are 6 major types of cost. You have fuel, you have finance charges, you have depreciation, you have insurance, you have maintenance and tires, you have licensing, registration, and taxes, and you have and you have other costs depending upon the industry you're in and how often you use the car. One thing I want to say here is that according to research from our own research and also research from AAA, the average cost for licensing, registration, and taxes is about $670 to $700 a year. It goes higher if you live in California or Texas. And the thing here is that, for example, some states have something called ad valorem excise taxes, in which they tax you on the depreciated value of your business car each year. In other states, there are just some relatively minor registration fees. And you also want to pay attention to insurance, because insurance premiums tend to go up every year depending upon the use, depending upon your application, depending upon the economic sector you're in also. And don't worry. You have to worry. Don't forget finance charges. This is very important, especially if you put no down payment. That means that you are actually going to have to pay larger installment amount every single month. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you're here to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, please continue the conversation here and pay attention to what we are talking about. Number 5, you need to know benefits of titling a car under a business's name. There are many benefits. Let's talk about that. I mean, as an investor, entrepreneur, or a small business owner, you might consider the possibility of buying or leasing an official business car, and the vehicle could be used exclusively for business purposes or could be used by employees as both a personal and professional vehicle. And so what are the advantages here? Under what circumstances would a business car be a good investment? The advantages: so you have depreciation deductions, auto expense deductions, employee perks, advertising and impressions, and cheaper insurance. So, after buying a car, you'll be able to write it off as depreciation on an annual basis. Over the course of 1 to 5 years, you'll use one of several depreciation techniques to offset your business income and ultimately save money. You'll have you can write off auto expense on your taxes. There are employee perks, so you can offer a business vehicle as a kind of reward for some of your employees, right? For example, you may allow your VP of sales to drive a company car, simultaneously rewarding them for their past efforts and demonstrating to your current employees that there are additional benefits to working hard. And, advertising and impressions, very important also, and cheaper insurance. And there are factors you need to keep in mind. So auto insurance specifics. So you will need a good auto insurance policy and one that doesn't cost you a fortune. So it's important to learn how auto insurance works for businesses and what types of policies are available. And depending on what type of vehicles you have and how many you have, auto insurance may be one of your biggest auto-related expenses. So it's important to shop around for the best rate. And you want to think also about industry-specific considerations, the make and model of your business car, and you have to think about leasing versus buying. I'll talk about that in the next section. And you need to track and make sure you have the proper deductions. As I said earlier, you need to have a proper record-keeping process in place. That's quintessential. Number 6, folks, you need to consider leasing versus buying. This is an important analytical journey you have to go through. Should you buy or lease the company car? It depends. And today I'm going to talk to you about the pros and cons of each option to help you weigh which is best for your needs. And you have to think before I speak about the pros and cons, you need to decide if buying or leasing a car is best for you right now, for your business right now, based on your business's financial situation and the needs. How many miles do you anticipate putting on the vehicle? How much money do you have for a down payment? How will you use the vehicle? Those are things you have to think about. Those are conversations you need to have in your mind and with your team. So what are the car leasing and the car leasing pros and cons? Pros: tax advantages, no maintenance or repair expenses, easy turnover, lower monthly payments. The cons: mileage limitations. You get what you get. So leased vehicles generally cannot be customized, and you need to be very aware of the small print. There may be additional charges incurred for early termination, and something also called residual value, or the amount you have to pay at the end of the lease that represents the appraised market value of the car if you have an option to buy. And excessive wear and tear attributed to careless driving habits or improper maintenance. What are the pros and cons of buying a car? The pros: you own it, right? Free and clear. Customization. So if this is your company's vehicle, you can add whatever options or custom paint jobs you want. There is a tax advantage because the cost of the vehicle is a depreciable business expense. Also, certain hybrid and electric vehicles may be eligible for tax breaks. That's just wonderful. What are the cons here? Larger capital outlay, maintenance and repairs, and you can sell it. You have to understand that the larger capital outlay is very important because even if you finance, monthly payments are frequently higher than with leasing. So you have to think about when you need to get a business out of loan and when you want to get a business out of lease, depending upon your situation. Depending upon the pros and cons that I just gave you and where you are right now, financially speaking, and also operationally speaking. Let's talk about number 7, folks. You need to plan the car purchase properly. And this is important. And I'm going to give you 7 steps. There are 7 tips you need to keep in mind when buying a car for your business. And this is important because tax advantages are available to those who purchase a company car for their business. Mileage and other expenses can be write-offs, that's for sure. But you need to evaluate car options carefully before buying a company vehicle. And the size and model of the vehicle should fit the intended use. You need to decide between leasing and buying a car. And I just told you that. I just gave you the pros and cons of each option. And so to purchase your company car properly, you need to choose the size carefully. Keep the important add-ons in mind, right? You need to consider what optional extras are imperative for you. Extras can hold a few benefits, practically speaking, while limiting depreciation and potentially boosting safety. So if your vehicle is going to embark on longer journeys, then satellite navigation can rightly be considered essential. If you are, let's say you are a local company, appealing to a limited audience, for example, then GPS may only serve as a battery draining albatross in your dashboard. Cosmetic additions like alloy wheels and a metallic paint job, while not essential, help fight off depreciation and instill a sense of prestige for your brand while it's on the move. So you want to consider passenger airbags crucial if your business car will regularly carry employees to locations. And step number 3, do not underestimate the competition. Number 4, consider aesthetics. Number 5, stay true to your purpose, and you need to review your options properly in terms of buying a car. And number 6, also you want to prioritize fuel economy. Because the last thing you want, folks, I want you to think about it. The last thing you want after adding a vehicle to your workforce is to pay it a higher roller salary just to keep up with constant refueling. Sometimes you can justify getting a fancy car for personal use if it's a sports car or an executive quality motor, but it's an awful lot harder to budget a 5.0 engine on the books when you're simply transporting your auditor between offices. Think about it, right? So you want to keep an eye on your choosing car's fuel economy by using online miles per gallon calculators. This could save you and your company a fortune, folks. And the last tip is to get your business car insurance right. This is very important. Step number 8, folks. I want you to really compare car financing options. And there is a large constellation of elements you need to take in place to understand where your business can benefit from a car financing arrangement, a car loan, okay? And how can you find the best vehicle financing for your business? There are 5 elements I want you to pay attention to: the terms, the interest rate, the repayment options, the tax requirements, the fees and charges. I'm gonna say it again. This is so important. The terms, the interest rate, the repayment options, the tax requirements, and the fees and charges. So the term is basically the length of the term of your vehicle finance arrangement. This will influence how much money you have to pay in order to gain ownership of a commercial vehicle. Many finance options allow terms of between, say, 1 to 7 years. So you want to compare the terms available and find an option that suits your budgets and needs. The interest rate. What interest rate would you be charged under your vehicle finance arrangement? The higher the rate, the more you'll have to pay in interest charges. Makes sense. And will the rate be fixed or variable, offering either the security of knowing what your repayments will be or the chance to take advantage of possible falling rates? Repayment options. Look for a vehicle finance option that allows you to tailor repayments to suit your budget. Some offer fixed monthly payments, which provide security if you really think about it, while others may allow you to choose a more flexible repayment schedule. What about tax requirements? Claiming the expense of buying a vehicle as a tax deduction varies greatly depending on which vehicle finance option you choose. You may also be able to include depreciation deductions depending on the options you choose. And last but not the least, folks, and I want you to, this is an important element. So people tend to underestimate it, but it is important. Fees and charges. So as with any financial product, it pays to familiarize yourself, right, with any fees and charges attached to a vehicle finance option. And they may not seem like much at first, but these expenses can really add up. Believe me, they can add up to a lot of money in the long run. So when it comes to business vehicle financing options, you have, besides business auto loans, you have lease, you can have commercial line of credit, SBA commercial vehicle loan, heavy duty vehicle financing, specialty vehicle financing, and personal loan. You can take a personal loan to finance your business vehicle if you have the means for it and the credit score that goes with it. Step number 10, folks, you need to choose the best lender for you. And this is critical. Once you have gathered all of your application materials, it's time to find a reputable lender to work with and prepare your application. And we have done a little research for you, and we're showing you right now the best business auto loans. And they're also great for good credit, bad credit, no credit, and no down payments, no personal guarantees. So first we have Wells Fargo. And this is actually best for highly qualified borrowers and ideal rates and terms. This is pretty cool. And then next we have Balboa Capital. This is best for faster funding than a bank. And the rates are pretty generous too. You're looking at up to $250,000. Third, we have Crest Capital. This is great for larger amounts, low interest rates from an online lender. And you can go all the way to $1 million in terms of financing. Number 4, we have National Funding. This is great for auto loans for startups and borrowers with bad credit. So they're pretty generous too in terms of financing, up to $150,000. And the application is really fast. Everything is done online, folks. Number 5, we have CIT. This is great for fast funding and affordable starting rates from an online lender. And here you can get up to $500,000. This is fantastic, folks. That's fantastic. So I'm just giving you a snapshot of the business lenders that are great out there that you might want to check out. For all those snapshots, we have put the links also to the company's page, so you can check them out more if you want to. And number 10, step number 10, folks, you need to submit the car loan application. So you want to gather your documents, okay, based upon the requirements of the lender. It's very important, right? And in some cases, lenders will permit sole proprietors without an EIN to submit their social security number. But again, this is not an option we actually recommend. And once you gather your documents, you need to compare offers before choosing the actual lender that you want to work with and submit the loan application. So how do you compare offers? You got to look at the requirements. The basic business car loan requirements include time in business, personal credit score, business credit score, annual business revenue and profit, bank statements, personal and business tax returns, the loan purpose, the desired loan amount, business plan, industry, entity type, business licenses and permits, EIN, proof of collateral, balance sheet, copy of your commercial lease, disclosure of other debts, accounts receivable and accounts payable agent, ownership and affiliations, and legal contracts and agreements. All right, folks, this is it for today's conversation. I was talking to you about how to get a business car loan with EIN only. And I gave you 10 proven, potent steps to help you increase your chances of getting a large business car loan with EIN only. So, number one, you need to get your act together. Number two, you will need to explain why your business needs a car. Number three, you need to write a compelling business plan. Number four, create a sources and uses of funds statement. Number five, you need to know the benefits of titling a car under a business's name. Number six, consider leasing versus buying. Number seven, you need to plan the car purchase properly. Number eight, you need to compare car financing options. Number nine, you need to choose the best lender for you. And number 10, last but not the least, you need to submit the car loan application. Thank you so much, folks, for your attention. I'll speak to you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.